The story of James who didn't like the Philippines. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Eric James with Foreign Option, and in this video I got a cool kind of story to share with you. And I have been in Cebu City off and on for the past couple of months, and I have a lot of friends here. I've been coming here since 2019, and occasionally I'll run into guys that I either know from back home that want to come out and they know I'm here and they want to visit, or I'll run into new expats. And so I met this guy, James, who I don't think has too unique of a story. It's actually quite common to meet expats from his background. And here's a guy who is just about to retire. He's in his mid-60s, has worked his entire life, made his money, has also had a lot of heartbreak in his life throughout relationships, especially dating women in the modern world. And I don't know who's to blame there. I don't know perfectly his background, but several divorces that didn't work out where women often ran off with half of the money. And basically he's at a point in his life where he's just about to retire. He thinks he has enough money to go and start exploring abroad a little bit, considering making a full-time move to a foreign country. And a big part of that is hopefully getting a fresh start on life and finding adventure and energy through that adventure, and particularly energy maybe from finding a girlfriend abroad. Tries to take very good care of him and is very appreciative and grateful for what a guy like James could provide for her life. So what he did is very smart, and I encourage all first-time expats or guys that think they want to try this lifestyle is to do a trial run, right? Because you can sit back home and watch all the YouTube videos you want, listen to people who have never traveled, never lived in the Philippines, you know, all those couch gurus and stuff. Or you can just buy a flight and go test it out and form your own opinion, which is what I highly recommend everybody do. You know, I run this channel, I give lots of insights and stuff, but nothing beats you getting in the plane and landing and going checking it out yourself. So that's exactly what James did, and I give him an A+ for flying all the way from Illinois to Cebu City, Philippines. And based off all the YouTube videos he had watched, his goal here was to land in Cebu and then take some trips around the island, hopefully find a really nice woman, and maybe she would tag along with him a little bit, and maybe even turn that into a long-term relationship. Although 1 month is not quite long enough to really do it justice. Obviously, you could spend a lifetime out in the Philippines and not touch everything, but 1 month is actually a really good time. But the first week, you're fighting off jet lag really bad, and by the time you're kind of settling in, it's already, your trip's kind of over and you're going back home. But compared to what James's goals were, compared to what he actually experienced, he actually had kind of a bad experience. Because one thing I've noticed is that traveling is 100% anecdotal. And what that means is it's based off your own experience. And my first trip to the Philippines was mind-blowing. I arrived, I happened to meet one of the most fantastic women. Even 6 years later, it was like one of the best women I've ever met. Just had a blast. Everything was cheap, and I'm running around going to beaches and jumping off waterfalls and swimming with whale sharks. And it was like nothing could have gone better than my first trip to the Philippines. Then you have other people who arrive, and like James did, the first woman he meets tries to scam him. And not a really horrible scam, but it's, oh, you know, my buffalo is sick back in the province. I need some money for that. My father's in the hospital now, you know. So it's all this kind of, so he finally blows off her, and then he gets back online, and honestly, you'll have no problem meeting matches online. You get plenty of matches, so finds another match, and he meets up with her, and oh, she needs, you know, $300 for her sick baby, and you know, back in the province, and same old story. And then he catches food poisoning. He can't find any good food, and when he's looking for good food, you have to go to Ayala Center and spend, you know, $20, $30 at Texas Roadhouse or Chili's. So he's getting scammed, he's catching food poisoning, he gets in the taxi drivers, and they try to scam him. They're not using the meter. And that's why experiences can be very anecdotal, because it just happened that way. Other guys arrive and just all the pieces just kind of fall in line, just like destiny just works. So what we're really doing here, guys, is we're running experiments. So every time you go to a new country, think of it like running an experiment. and you are the scientist. So what do you do when you run an experiment? You create a hypothesis, and then you run tests on the hypothesis. So based off the YouTube videos I watch, I hypothesized that I would like to go to Cebu City or Angeles or Thailand or wherever. And then you go there, you have to go there and you run the experiment, test it out, and you will find out if you really like it or not. So that's why guys end up all over the world with different experiences. And I'm at the point where there's a lot of countries I like, and you get to the point where you actually kind of like yourself. And when you like yourself, you like the person you see in the mirror, everywhere you go, you kind of like the places. So I credit James a lot here because he ran his experiment and he found out that the Philippines is not for him, which is actually very, very valuable information, data, parameters to put into your next experiment. So you don't give up. And the next time, he's not giving up on becoming an expat. He is going to go and try and test out, hypothesize on different countries. And I think he's going to go to Thailand next time. So remember the concept that there is no failure. You just learn. You're just learning. So failure is a man-made up word, man-made up concept. And really all you're doing is just gathering data. And next time you try it, you'll try it smarter, having more experience, and possibly a better outcome. Thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.